Hey everybody, Mikeycat Outdoors here. So what are we doing today? Well, it's like -5 outside and I'm inside. I had a little bit of a health issue that popped up. So I spent probably a good 3 hours outdoors earlier in the day, setting up a lean-to shelter. Put a wood stove out there and a couple of lean-to tarps and doing some bushcrafty stuff, which it was fun while it lasted. Um, but I was a little too cocky. It was, close here to home, and upper part of me was insulated well. I had gloves. I had two hats on. I had a fleece layer and then a puffy layer outside. But my legs and my feet kind of neglected those, so I just had regular khaki pants. No thermals, no insulated, no fleece, nothing underneath, and my shoes were just regular street shoes with cotton socks, and yeah. So after several hours of being out there, and I think my body was trying to keep me warm, um, it's good 20, 30 mile per hour wind gusts out there. So yeah, it started when I was doing some more bushcraft stuff outside. It started robbing the heat from me a bit, and started getting some pain in my upper back, which I get sometimes. Then I started feeling kind of weird in my chest. So I got high blood pressure that started a few years ago. So yeah, I got to kind of watch that a little bit. But I decided, well, I'll just go indoors, try to warm up, and came on in, had some hot apple cider, made some warm oatmeal and everything, and I was just cold, shaky, shivery, and I was really out there way too long. Lesson learned: don't overestimate the power of the cold to really get you. So I kind of tried to eat a little bit. Felt like I had to go to the bathroom. Was gonna make an attempt. Felt like my heart was gonna like explode, and I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna kind of relax, lay down a little bit. Started to get a few more hot liquids and stuff into me, and just try to get under some covers and stuff. My legs were freezing, um, but you know, still wasn't feeling too good. Checked my vitals, pulse was elevated. I was like 120 beats per minute. Blood pressure, when I checked that later, I was probably in 45 minutes already. I was just, feeling shaky and everything. So I took my blood pressure, and it was fairly elevated. It was like 146 over 97. I think pulse was like 108. So I've had a little worse, but when it gets close to that 150 range, yeah, I feel it. That's not good. People can have heart attacks in that kind of condition. So I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I might call a doctor. So I talked to him. They had their office closed, but I called their exchange. They got back to me and talked to him for a few minutes. And I'm supposed to get blood work done anyways tomorrow morning. So just said, yeah, I don't want to go to the hospital. I think I'm getting better, but I just want to be on the safe side. So we talked it through, and he's like, oh, yeah, in an hour you'll probably be doing better. But I don't know, it's probably like 4 hours now. And when I get up, I'm still chilly. My vitals, blood pressure, everything's gotten better. Um, it's more in a normal range now. I've eaten a little bit of soup. I didn't want to have that at first because I was afraid the sodium would jack my blood pressure up higher, but he's like, it'd be okay, just for this one time. And I did that, had a little more warm stuff to drink, and then I got a electric blanket that I bought a couple months ago that I had my son bring over, and I tried that out. So that eventually started warming me up a little bit. And I got a heater on in a room, so it helps. Body temperature was normal-ish, but it's one of those things. If you're out, you've got exposure, you're out in the cold, and you're not properly insulated, that stuff can catch up to you. It's one thing when you're 20 and you do it, but when you're, older, in your 40s or older, I mean, yeah, that stuff can kill a person sometimes. Creep up on you real quick. So, I know it's not the truest outdoor kind of video, but it's probably something that needs to be said. Um, I know some viewers out there can't go outside, they have health problems, and they kind of live vicariously through the adventures of others. And I've got some health issues that I have to deal with from time to time. They'll pop up. I don't let it stop me all the time, but there have been some adventures where, yeah, I've gotten to feel like I got run over by a truck or something. I just feel absolutely horrible, like I'm 2 steps away from death's doorstep. So just be careful out there. If you guys are out in the blizzard, bundle up, have extra stuff with you when you go out. Blankets, hand warmers, extra set of clothes, jackets, extra stuff in the car. In case something happens, you don't want to be walking real far in that stuff. Um, if you're bushcrafting, make sure you got a plan B and a plan C and a safe exit if something happens. Because, gear failures are going to happen in the winter. Um, if your body starts working hard to try to keep itself warm, eventually you're going to run out of fuel. So make sure, you're well rested, you're well fed with good calories, you're insulated. Don't overdo it. It's not a time to sweat or anything either. Luckily, I didn't sweat this time, but yeah, it was cold out. The shelter helped with the wind a lot, but the wood stove, unless I was standing right next to it, I could not really feel much heat coming out of that thing because it was just whipping the heat away so easily. Um, but yeah, just be safe and careful out there. I know 2 years ago, Kevin Rengovinsky, the MegaWoodswalker, out of Connecticut, I used to watch him a lot. He came back from a hike. He had a heart attack in January of 2020. So, he had some health issues and stuff too, but he had diabetes and everything, but he had high blood pressure. Loved his bacon. But I try to eat a little healthier than that, but it's still, you gotta be careful. You gotta watch it. I know I do some hikes. I did one the other day out in 20-degree weather, but it was like 8 or 9 degrees out there when I was out there, and the wind chill was like -30. So, yeah, I mean, I could do that when I was 16, get away with it, but fast forward 3 decades, So, just keep yourself safe, stay alive. Wish you all happy holidays and everything. Um, you know, Sometimes you gotta know when to quit, when to come back in. Still got stuff out there. I'll just see how it does in the wind and everything overnight. And, if I feel better by tomorrow or the next day, I might go out there and enjoy it in the daylight. But I think I'm going to be bundled up a little better next time. So, anywho, me and Mr. Bunny here, we're going to sign off. And I got this little guy when I was sick as a kid in the hospital with pneumonia, so I've had him for a long time. He's my buddy when I'm feeling really bad. So, anywho, thanks for watching, and I'll try to catch you again in the outdoors pretty soon. So, as always, thanks for watching. See ya.